Good morning, everyone, and to our televiewers in Kapatagan, DPWH Lanao. This morning, we will be conducting pre-bid conference of the following projects with program ID number 26KF0061, 26KF0063, 26KF0065, and 26KF0071. This pre-bid conference is conducted pursuant to RA 12009 under section 51, which requires the procurement to conduct pre-bid conference, mainly discuss, clarify, and explain about the eligibility requirements, technical components, and financial components. Among others, it includes also the discussion of activities and awarding of contracts once project is bid. Importantly, this is the for discussion from the prospective bidders before the opening of bids. But before we formally start this pre-bid conference, may we have first our silent prayer, after which is the roll call of the attendees by Bank Secretariat, Ma'am ILaya Sabi. Present, Chair Muslim Magina Miss Bank, Vice President. Nordilan ko mga banto, Bank Provincial Labor. There's our Pongente Banto, may Bank PWG. Nay Mawe at Story, Bank Secretariat. Sir Abdullah is the Lagodin, Bank PWG. Zohra Dibani, Bank Secretariat. Sir Jersey Hajiyase, Bank PWG. Present. Sir Abdul Malik, CM Roman, Bank PWG. Present. Farhana Ibayas, Bank PWG. Present. Elizabeth Sibanesia, Bank Secretariat. Present. Norhanida Inang Saka, Bank Secretariat. Hanima Insolatory, Program Staff. Thank you. Mr. Bank Member Isidro, we may now start to discuss the following contract data, technical and financial proposal, the eligibility requirements, and awarding of contract by the DPWH and the Secretariat.
DPWH Lanao Del Norte through its and watch committee now invites each party and other works. For the first project, basic infrastructure program, multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose facility phase 2. With the contract ID number 26CF0061. And the location of the project at Barangay, Pacita, Lala, Lanao Del Norte. For the scope of use, facilities for the other general economy, airports, reinforced concrete, finishing, and other civil works. The approved budget for the contract $5,446,800 pesos and 15 centavos. For the cost of 8,000 pesos, with a contract duration of 129 calendar. For the license category C and D, for license notification small d. For the second project, basic infrastructure program, multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building daycare center. With a contract ID number 26PF0038. The location of the project at Barangay, Isidro, Kapatagan, Lanao Del Norte. For the description of the scope of works are the following: facilities for the engineer, other general departments, reinforced concrete, finishing, and other civil works, electrical and mechanical works. The approved budget for the contract at 4,446,800 950,314 pesos. For the cost of bidding documents, 1,000 pesos. With a contract duration of 110 calendar days. For the license category, C and D. For license classification, small d. For the third project, basic infrastructure program, multi-purpose building facilities to support services, construction of multi-purpose building with the contract ID number 26 EF0065. The location of the project at Barangay, Darumawang, ILaya, Lala, Lanao Del Norte. For the scope of work, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthworks, reinforcement fleet, finishing and other civil work, electrical and mechanical work. The average budget for the contract is 5,444,563 pesos and 59 cents. The cost of bidding document is 8,000 pesos with a contract duration of 120 calendar days. For the license category, C and D. For license notification, small d. For the last budget, basic infrastructure program or BIP, access roads and R bridges on national roads, bidding in major strategic public facilities construction, Tunaan to Barangay Tunaan section station 0/0 to station 0/360 with the contract ID number 26 PF0071. The location of the project, Lala, Lanao Del Norte. On the scope of work, facilities for the engineer, other general requirements, earthworks, sub-base changes, northeast process, bridge construction, and miscellaneous. The actual budget of 5,150,746 pesos and 23 cents. The cost of bidding document is 3,000 pesos. With the contract duration of 55 calendar days. For license category, A and D. For license classification, small d. That's all for the contract with
Any modification to the bidding documents shall be identified as an amendment. Requests for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the back of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of fees. The back shall respond to the said request by issuing a bid bulletin or bid supplemental duly signed by the back chairperson to be made available to all those who have properly secured the bid docs at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids, and shall be posted in Philgib's conspicuous place in the premises of the procuring entity on the department website and all social media platforms of the procuring entity. Reminder that all prospective bidders are encouraged to inspect the site and take total photos of it before the procurement process. For the project 26 PF0061, the minimum work experience requirements for key personnel are as follows. On the other hand, for the minimum equipment required, these are the minimum equipments required to complete the project. As per the readiness of the contracts, shown are the approved detailed engineering design plan for the project. So, the location of the project is from Lala Municipal Hall. It will take 12 minutes ride from the site, which is approximately 6.8 kilometers. Shown is the bill of quantities of the contract and shown also is the plan the cross section, the single detailed plan, the single and double arm post details. For the project 26 KF 0063 and 26 KF 0065, these are the minimum work experience requirements for key personnel. Shown also is the minimum equipment required. So these are the minimum equipment required to complete the project. And as for the readiness of the contract, shown are the approved detailed engineering design plan for the project 26 KF 0063. And shown also is the approved DEP of project 26 KF 0065. For the location of the project 26 KF 0063 from Kapatagan Municipal Hall, it would take 13 minutes ride from the site, which is approximately 7 kilometers. And for the project 26 KF 0065 from Lala Municipal Hall, it will take 19 minutes ride from the site, which is approximately 9.1 kilometers. So these are the bill of quantities. So shown is the perspective view of the project in 26 KF 0063 and 26 KF 0065. The elevation details, the cross-section details, the ceiling plan, footing details, the floor plan, process details, stairs details, the water tower details, the signage details, the plumbing and septic tank details, and the lighting layout. And for the project 26 KF 0071, the minimum work experience requirements for key personnel are as follows. On the other hand, for the minimum equipment required, these are the minimum equipments required to complete the project. And as for the readiness of the contract, the shown are the approved detailed engineering design. So from Lala Municipal Hall, it will take 9 minutes ride from the site, which is approximately 4.8 kilometers. Shown is the bill of quantities of the project, the plan and profile, the critical section, the PCCP details, the typical signage layout, the traffic signs and hazard marker, the PWD provision, the chevron sign details. As per DEO 82 series of 2025, which is supersedes Department Order number 11 series of 2022, and Department Order number 21 series of 2017, and shall take effect immediately. Installation location for building projects, the billboards shall be installed at the front of the project site. For road, bridge, or flood control projects, billboards shall be strategically installed in conspicuous location at both ends of the project. For road projects exceeding 10 kilometers, additional billboards shall be installed at every 5-kilometer interval. If the project length extends beyond the last multiple of 5 kilometers by up to 2 kilometers, a single billboard installed at the project endpoint shall suffice for both the final interval and the endpoint. We require all contractors doing business in our department to be registered from the CWR system as per DEO 51 series of 2010. So always monitor and update your documents. Expired CPA files will affect your eligibility results. Make it a habit to attach your Class A and Class B documents for your advantage. Bid submission may be done manually or electronically. However, bidders should only select one mode of submission. You may be allowed to submit its eligibility requirements electronically with certification under oath as to the correctness of the statements made and completeness and authentic of documents submitted. Link for online submission is assured.
For the submission and receipt of bids, bidders should submit their bids through the respective duly authorized representatives using the forms specified in the bid docs in two separate sealed bid envelopes, and it shall be submitted simultaneously. The first shall contain the technical components of the bid, including the eligibility requirements, and the second shall contain the financial components of the bid. The first bid envelope shall contain the following technical documents: field chips, certificate of registration, which is a platinum membership, PCAP, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, statement of SLCC, NFCC computation, GBA and PCAP special license if applicable, paid security, and prescribed form, amount and validity period. For project requirements, which shall include the following: the organizational chart, the list of contractors' personnel, list of contractor major equipment units which are owned, list for under purchase agreement, supporting of proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment or equipment lessor or vendor for the duration of the project as the case may. Omnibus sworn statement in accordance with section 54.3 of this IR, which is now 111. Sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. And then additional for requirements for corporations, the latest general information sheet or the GIS reflecting the beneficial ownership information of the DOI will be received by SEC. And lastly, for project costing more than 30 million, ISO 9001 2015 certification is required. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial document as specified in the Philippine bidding documents. First is the financial bid form, duly signed bid price and the BOQ, duly signed bid build estimates, including summary sheet, indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in the coming up with the bid, and cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. These are the standard form that we'll be using. The bid form, cash flow by quarter, bid security declaration, bid security, bid and bid security validity period is 120 calendar days from the date of the opening of bids. Should it become necessary to extend the validity of the bids and its securities, the procuring entity shall request in writing of those who submitted bids for such extension before the expiration date thereof. Standard form for organizational chart, standard form for list of personnel, list of equipments, omnibus sworn statement, item 1 to 11, sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership. So this procurement process shall be using LCRB. For bid evaluation, the bank shall check the submitted documents of the each bidder against a checklist of required document to ascertain that they are all present using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion as stated in instruction to the bidders. The ABC shall be the upper limit or ceiling for the acceptable bid prices. If a bid price as evaluated and calculated in accordance with this IRR is higher than the ABC, then the bidder submitting the same shall be automatically disqualified. The bank also shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using a non-discretionary criteria and considering the following. First is the completeness of the bid, and the second one is their arithmetical correction. For post-qualification, within 5 calendar days from the receipt by the period of the notice from the bank that the bidder has the LCB, The bidder shall submit eligibility documents supporting its project, certificate of registration, its latest income and business tax returns filed for the preceding quarter, which should not be earlier than 2 quarters from the date of submission and receipt of fee, and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the paying documents like tax clearance, mayor's permit, DTI, or SEC. Further, prospective bidders should not be included on the blacklisted contractor of the GPPD. For the technical requirements, this must be satisfied that the personnel, the availability and commitment of major construction equipment, and the performance in ongoing government and private contract. Lastly, for the financial requirement, the figures and FCC shall be verified to ensure that the bidder can sustain the operating cash flow of the transaction. Failure to submit any of the post qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for the award. We would also like to emphasize the second and third section of this DEO 9 series of 2012. The certification under item 6 or item 7 shall be included in the first envelope of the sealed bid envelope. For the equipment, the bidder should specify the submitted bid, the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post disqualified. As per DEO Assistance in 2025, which supersedes the Department Orders number 148 and 227, both of series of 2024 and other issuances inconsistent with. The full implementation of this order were only accredited project engineers of the contractors and consultants may be assigned to supervise all DPWH projects and shall be imposed effective January 1, 2026. These are the published DEOs on accreditation of DPWH contractors and consultant fees. Please do check if nasa listahan yung mga project engineers nyo in order to avoid any violation of this policy. Shown are the minimum material testing equipment for medium contractors and small contractors as per DEO 11 series of 2017. As per DEO 127 series of 2018, which is the strict application of RA 9124 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contract with DPWH. During the post-qualification, the bank shall determine the bidder's compliance to the declared SLCC, competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel, the availability and commitment and inspection of testing for the required capacities, and operating condition of major equipment units, the performance of a bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts, and then the result of the CPS contractor's performance evaluation system. If the bank verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects. As per the 28 series of 2024, which is the three-star policy in the procurement of infrastructure, goods and consulting services. Rounds A and B falls during the receipt of bids, while round C falls during the eligibility screening, bid evaluation, and post qualification. Moreover, as per the 115 series of 2021, this is about your CFAs or the certificate of final acceptance. So please kindly settle this before the bid. So that's all for the technical requirements.
For awarding contract. After determining the lowest calculated the strings that we do for the LCRB of the test to the training. Shall execute in award and within the weeks. The following document shall be submitted and it's the form of the following documents as shown in the notice of award to be issued by the Secretary of the written A, letter A to letter L. For the performance security, the performance security shall be in the amount of less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance read the following speech. For a cash or passes manager check, which is issued by a universal bank, the performance stand is 10% of the contract price. For a bank truck guarantee or a revocable letter of credit, it is 10% of the contract price, and the last form is a 3E bank callable on demand, which is 30% of the contract price. The performance security shall remain valid until issuance of the validity of the certificate of items. Forwarding. Thank you. Since all contract data, eligibility requirements, technical and financial components, including the words are all discussed, the video conference is now open for questions and clarification from the participating. Since there's no question and clarification from the participating leaders, may I request Vice Chairman, Engineer Makamin for the assignment of this specific level.
I will go the journal of this board.
My second thing. Thank you everyone, the partners matters and the motion duly seconded. This video conference is presented. Ayun.